Justin Filio, your lights are on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to York Run Stadium for tonight's game featuring the Albert Gallatin Colonials and the Franklin Regional Panthers. I am Rob Flockovich here with Tommy Victor. Homecoming tonight for AG. They have a tough test in front of a decent crowd here against a 4-0 Franklin Regional team, where they will be spotted up at 0-5.
Yeah, big night for the Colonials. Hopefully they can find some magic here on homecoming night and get it done.
Anybody can play a good game. It just depends on if they can compete against this Franklin Regional team. The spread for tonight's game, roughly a 49-point over/under, so it should be decent scoring. Franklin Regional roughly a 20-point favorite for tonight as we hit about 4 minutes to go until kickoff. Both teams on the field, getting ready to do the coin toss here. We'll let you know who wins, who's kicking, who's receiving, the whole nine as the band gets off the field here.
A big highlight for the Colonials has been their special teams.
Yes.
And hopefully they could, if they can receive the ball, get something going, or even if you're kicking off, you can make a big play.
Absolutely, Tommy. The last game we did against McKeesport, it's been a couple weeks now, but that was in a I believe it was a 49-0 win for McKeesport. That was one of the Colonials' definite strong points whenever you do get shut out. It was their impressive kick returns.
And I think we saw towards the end of last home game we did, Colonials were starting to figure it out a bit. I mean, there was a positive message that came out of last matchup here, that the Colonials can generate offense. They can stop on defense. Let's see if they apply it this week. Maybe, like I said, the bigger crowd definitely helps the Colonials.
Yes. You can put a price on home field advantage. You can't beat momentum. You can't beat the fact that it is homecoming here, along with a number of other schools around the area. I know Laurel Highlands for sure here. Just a big night the whole way across the Whippeal here in southwestern Pennsylvania. There's a coin toss taking place here.
As you mentioned earlier before we started, Rob, the Colonials are a little light-staffed from what I hear.
Yeah, they are light-staffed. I've been told Franklin Regional, I'm not sure number-wise, they're spread out the whole way across the sideline here, even though they do look to have a number of injuries on the right side of the sideline. But the Colonials down to 25 to 30 players. I know for a fact their line is a little dinged up, which we saw Braden Moody have some trouble back there with timing last week in terms of getting rushed very easily. So that definitely could be a recipe for disaster. But hopefully the week's prep, hopefully whenever you prep for a week 4, something like that, he at least The line has to know that they have to block a little extra. Braden Moody has to know that probably going to have to get rid of that ball a little quicker.
You're not going to have time.
You're really going to have to pull the trigger on that ball as we approach about a minute 20 till kickoff here. Franklin Regional will kick the ball off. Albert Gallatin's going to receive the ball.
You wonder if the Colonials are going to try some trickery on this opening kickoff, maybe do a reverse or something.
Yeah. I mean, anything is possible. It's games like this where you're the underdog at home. It's games like this where you can get a little loose with the play calling. You can start to try some tricks. I'm sure you don't have to worry about anything like that showing up on film because Franklin Regional, these guys, very well coached, very talented team. They pull out all the stops in terms of watching film, walking through the game plan, the whole nine.
I definitely would like to see the Colonials try to do something, make some noise, and really punch them in the mouth. I mean, you have to start somewhere. Yep.
And why not the opening kickoff here as we're about to get underway. We have 12 minutes on the scoreboard. Franklin Regional. Kicker walking back, getting ready to start things off. That kick is away. That kick is a very nice kick all the way down to about the 8-yard line where the Colonials will field it on the left side of the field, cutting back to the opposite side. Looks like he's going to be marked down roughly the 21, 22-yard line as the Colonials are going to get their offense rolling here.
If you're the Colonials, you're not upset with that. I mean,
no. Anything outside of the 20, it doesn't matter what level you're at. I don't think you can be too upset about it.
No.
Got some deliberations here from the Colonials. Franklin Regional, they are already in their defensive package, ready to stop the ball. Got that man in motion. Braden Moody snaps the ball, hands it off. Minimal gain, if any, on first down. DuPont is the ball carrier.
I wonder if they're going to be doing more outside runs. We saw last game, they opened up the playbook a little more than usual. It definitely should. Hopefully they're not scared to open it up again. I mean, run some inside plays, and if you have the opportunity, try to bust one outside.
Yeah, you can't be, if you want to put that man in motion as much as they do, as Moody lines up for another play here. He's going to put that man in motion, snaps the ball. Looks like it was a keeper, but he appeared to be tripped up by his own man. Looked like he had a running back coming out of the backfield to serve as a lead blocker, but their legs got tangled up. So once again, minimal gain, 1 yard at the most as we head into 3rd and 9 here at the 24-yard line. But what I was going to say there, Tommy, if they're going to put that man in motion, maybe bring him from the far outside. You could run a jet sweep. You could run a toss to the other side. Just open up each side and keep them guessing.
I would definitely like to see a passing game, too.
Yes. Well, Moody drops back, so there is your pass.
Incomplete.
We have an incomplete pass on that play. Ref did wave it off. Threw it into some trouble, no doubt. Didn't really have much to go. Franklin Regional, their secondary was ready for the pass on 3rd and long, to say the least.
I will say the offensive line, though, for being a little understaffed, I felt like they had good protection on that.
They definitely had the umbrella effect as you would go about it in terms of their setup. So that's definitely good on a pass play. As the Colonials punt the ball, very minimal punts, bounced at about the 45-yard line. Franklin Regional gets the lucky roll up to, we have a referee spotting it at the 41-yard line in Franklin Regional territory. So excellent starting position for Franklin Regional as they get ready to snap the ball here. Colonials have their defensive set ready.
It'll be interesting to see this offense for Franklin Regional, averaging around 118 rushing yards and around 200 passing yards. So we have a very balanced offense for high school football.
Franklin Regional going to put a man in motion of their own. It's a handoff in the backfield to the left side, brought down pretty quickly by a number of tacklers. They do get a decent gain out of that on a first down run. It's going to end up being 2nd and 4 on about the 36-yard line. So that's definitely the way you want to get it started if you're Franklin Regional. If you're going to run the ball, a draw very close to the left side, that's totally fine getting 4 or 5 yards out of that. They actually updated it to a 2nd and 5 as we get another snap from Franklin Regional. Almost brought down, able to break off a couple of tackles. Finally brought down about the 29-yard line for a first down for Franklin Regional. You gotta wrap him up like that. He was on. If he didn't have a ball on his hands, he'd be on all fours. But he was able to stumble through there. You really got to wrap up on that play as Franklin Regional gets a new set of downs here with 9:45 to go in the first. Franklin Regional is going to snap the ball, but immediately have a flag on the play, probably in the area of offsides, either on the offense or defense.
This offense is running a very quick tempo, which is benefiting them because the Colonials are having trouble adjusting.
That's going to be an offsides on Franklin Regional. Only going to give them a 5-yard penalty here.
The Colonials need to find a way to have the initial hit be the only hit needed.
Yes, they do. They need to attack quick. As I said last week, I don't really change my opinion whenever I say you can't be playing catch-up. You have a 7-point gap, a 14-point gap. After that, you really got to buckle down and try some stuff as Franklin Regional has a bit of a trick play in the backfield, kind of a triple option, if you will. They dump it off to the right side for a pretty nice gain. First down or 2nd down and 1, excuse me.
Colonials were hungry for a stop back there. They wanted to.
They were ready for the run, and if it wouldn't have been an option play, they would have been totally safe, but that quarterback was able to see his option, very smartly throw it away. As they snap another ball, he's going to toss it towards the end zone, and it's incomplete pass.
That's good
excellent defense. Good offense, just a little bit better defense.
Pass complete intended for number 5.
That was an impressive pass on the run.
Yes, that was good offense, just a little bit better defense. Definitely a battle until the ball hit the ground. So Albert Gallatin, they've managed, even though it's a 3rd and very short, 3rd and 1 on the 20-yard line, they've managed to hold Franklin Regional to a 3rd down on their opening drive of the game.
The big thing is to get a stop here and hopefully hold them.
As Franklin Regional snaps the ball on the 3rd and 1, walks in untouched from 20 yards away. Colonials faked out in the backfield once again on that play. Not quite the passing play that we saw 2 or 3 plays ago, but effective nonetheless to get the score. With 8:49 to go, you have Franklin Regional with 6 points and Albert Gallatin still hanging at 0.
And what could be a negative for the Colonials on a night like tonight where you have a bigger crowd, you have more of adrenaline, you become over-aggressive.
Absolutely.
And I feel like we saw that right there.
Snap is back, kick is up. That kick is going to be good for Franklin Regional, so you can add 1 more point to their score of 6. It is 7-0 Panthers with 8:49 to go in the first. And I agree with what you just said, Tommy. I didn't mean to cut you off there with the play starting. You have to channel this extra momentum you're getting. It's a homecoming crowd, probably a little heavier than usual nonetheless that you are at home. But you have to channel it and not expect things to happen. When you expect things to happen, that's when you start making mistakes.
And what I'm going to be most interested in is how do the Colonials respond? You're down 7-0. You didn't have a terrible start.
No, you definitely didn't have a terrible start. If you tighten those runs up a little bit, you have a drive going.
So we'll see, but I'd like to see Colonials pass the ball more. I feel like that may be a strong point in their game that they just haven't either realized, or maybe they're just waiting for the right time to use it.
They could be waiting. It's all in the hands of Coach Dindal as Franklin Regional kicks off the ball. Another excellent kick downfield at about the 5-yard line on the right side of the field. Going to cut right back just like the last time to the left. Return of roughly 10 yards. Albert Gallatin's going to bring it up to about the 18-yard line for a 1st and 10. Stone on the return for the Colonials.
1st and 10 from about the 18-yard line.
I have noticed Franklin Regional's running a bit of an interesting defense with two corners, one on each side, with just the one safety it looks like they're going to rely a lot on those linebackers to hopefully, if a tight end would break loose or running back on a wheel route, something like that.
That's something you can expose if you're the Colonials.
Right. Moody snaps the ball. A little bit of a shovel pass in the backfield for, appears to be about a loss of 1 or 2 yards. Yeah, Franklin Regional's definitely been running. They have that extra safety up this play. Or no, excuse me, they only have the one corner. That was a player exiting the field. One corner on each side and a safety. As long as the Colonials are running a tight package, it's very effective. But you definitely have to adjust a lot in the pre-snap just to make sure you have everybody covered, because that would definitely be more of a man defense if they are going to pull in the linebackers, especially with a tight end on the right side here for the Colonials as Moody snaps the ball, tosses it to his left side. Ball is caught. Decent gain.
There's a lot of trust in your safety to run a defense like that.
Yes. Dillard Shea on the catch for the Colonials. Takes the 2nd and 11 to a 3rd and short, 3rd and 3. If you're Albert Gallatin, it's very early, but you need this first down. You can't get stopped two straight offensive drives, your first 2 offensive drives, without even getting a first down.
It'll be interesting what the play call is here. Do we see a quarterback keeper?
No, so far we do. And that ball is going nowhere. If anything, it's taken back in the backfield a little bit for a loss of a couple.
The Colonials need a good punt here to not give Franklin Regional a short field like they did last series. It's hard to stop somebody when they only need 40 yards.
Absolutely. So the loss on the play makes this a 4th and 6 on the Colonial 22-yard line as the ball snapped back to Sutton. Nearly blocked. Did a good job of getting that ball away. And once again, we have a fair catch, but a muffed ball. Let's see where they're going to give possession. Albert Gallatin very confident that they have the ball. I haven't seen a signal from a referee yet. They're going to give it to Franklin Regional. It was a toss-up on that one. It was a battle at the bottom of the pile for that one. But Franklin Regional is going to start the drive on their 45-yard line after Nathan Sutton gets another punt. It's very high. Yeah. Very high. Now, he did almost get that one blocked. He had somebody right in his face, but you got to get more of a line drive on that one, especially in this situation.
The pressure that he's been under, not only in this game but previous games, it's tough to adjust the punt you want when there's somebody right in your face.
Absolutely, as Franklin Regional snaps the ball. Colonials a little more prepared for another misdirection play, a fake handoff to the running back for a QB keeper. QB's still able to break a tackle, even though it's only a gain of 2. We're coming up on a 2nd and 8 on the Franklin Regional 43-yard line. Got to tighten up that tackling.
Looks like the Colonials, looks like they're going to bring strong blitz here.
Yeah, there's definitely enough pressure. Definitely penetrated the backfield.
Fumble.
And we have a fumble on the play. Looks like Franklin Regional pretty comfortably dove on that one. After a completed pass, a couple trick moves by the receiver, first contact that was made, he did drop the ball, but more than enough Panthers in the vicinity. That will bring up a 3rd down and 4. Hopefully the Colonials can.
If you're Franklin Regional, you're worried about so many fumbles. I mean,
we're definitely going to have an encroachment call on the Colonials unless a offensive lineman from Franklin Regional flinch, but you had two men on the right side of the Colonials right on the ball before that snap, and that was absolutely on the Colonials for a 5-yard penalty. Makes that 3rd and 4 or 1st and 10 on the 34-yard line. You definitely can't have those.
No,
you hold Franklin Regional to 2 straight 3rd downs. You let the 3rd down play go for a touchdown, and then the next one go for a penalty for a 1st down. So you got to clean that up if you want anything to happen. As there's movement in the backfield from Franklin Regional, quarterback snaps the ball, off to the left side. Excellent run on first down. Going to take that 1st and 10 on the 34 to another 1st and 10. Round about 20-yard line. Looks like the 19-yard line. I have a couple players in my line of sight here, but it does look like they're going to set it down on the 19-yard line for Franklin Regional. So a 15-yard run on first down when you're already in your own territory. Can't complain about that one.
Looks like the Colonial defense, they're starting to figure out how to approach this offense, but it's not.
They got too comfortable seeing that option play, those trick plays. Now that Franklin Regional is going away from that a little bit, they're going more to direct handoffs. They're going more to straight passes. They're taking advantage of the of the Colonials' knowledge of the playbook. Going to be 2nd and 9 from the 18 for Franklin Regional. We got about 4:50 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Panther lead. Franklin Regional is going to snap back. Quarterback going to roll out to the right side. He tosses one to the end zone, and that's going to be a touchdown for Franklin Regional.
That was a solid catch.
Very good catch. You can't complain about that. The defender was right on him. Had his looked like he had the back of his head to the ball. That was a pretty quick release, though, so I don't necessarily blame him. But that receiver did an excellent job of body control. Looked like he was a little off balance whenever he did catch that ball. Great job on body control to not only keep his feet in bounds, but catch the ball through the play. Franklin Regional is going to line up for another extra point here.
And if you're a Colonials fan or part of the Colonials organization, penalties are the reason for plays like that. You would have
absolutely.
You had a very good chance of stopping them.
Oh yeah, you had a better chance. The last play it was a 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
Now you have a 3rd and 4, and you're working in the right direction as Franklin Regional does convert the extra point to make it 14-0 with 4:38 to go in the first quarter. But you're working them in the right direction. But then you give it up anyway, and that results in a touchdown. If you're already working in that right direction, who's to say you don't stop a 3rd and 4 to go from a 4th and 5?
Exactly. I mean, not only are you working in the right direction, but you also caused two fumbles that were potential turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I mean, that is huge.
Not to mention the fumbles. That's an excellent point. You know, so Franklin Regional is able to fall on their own ball. That's good for Franklin Regional, but that's a confidence booster that you're getting that ball out there. They're definitely vulnerable as Franklin Regional is going to go ahead and kick off for the 3rd time here. Ball's received by the Colonials once again on the 8-yard line. Going to try the other side of the field, bring it back to the right. Very minimal return.
And what this kicker is very good at is he's not sending it into the end zone. He's leaving it around the 5-6 yard line where you have to make a decision.
He's having some very solid kicks. I mean, you pin the Colonials in the position they're going to start their drive on the 18-yard line. You know, like we said, 20-yard line and above is really where you want to be. But he's having good kicks, but they're just having excellent containment.
I feel like we've been watching a lot of solid kicking games. I feel like a lot of solid kickers and punters. Exactly.
Kickers and punters, very busy.
I'm very impressed.
As Albert Gallatin, Moody's going to take a little shovel pass on the option play. Ball's going to stay in the backfield, however. Coming up on a 2nd down for the Colonials.
Very quiet stadium.
Very quiet. Very quiet. Even located over on the Franklin Regional sideline here. It's very quiet over here. You know, for a team that's up 14-0 in the first quarter. Like we said, that split was very high in the favor of Franklin Regional. It was a 20-point gap, so this could be just more of the same for them. They're a very good team. Undefeated so far this year, I believe you told me before we kicked off, so they have the right mindset. This just must be what they expect as the Colonials snap the ball. Looks like we had a little bit of a drop in the backfield, but the receiver to the ball on the toss, able to recover, but lost a pretty solid amount of yards in the process. Albert Gallatin's 1st and 10 went from a 2nd and 12 to a 3rd and 20 from the 8-yard line. So,
and it's crucial for the Colonials to find a way to, you may not get a first down with 20 yards, but make it so your punter has a chance.
If your punter, if you're able to get to the 25-yard line and your punter is not breaking the 50, you need to get it up to the 35, 40-yard line as the Colonials snap the ball for the 3rd and long play. Moody back, tosses the ball, tosses an interception. Definitely not what you wanted to see there. Franklin Regionals, I don't believe they've started a drive, seeing as that the Colonials received the opening kickoff. Franklin Regional started every drive on their side of the field.
And it's the same story as last home game.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the question is, can you adapt to change that? And that's what I was hoping we'd see from the Colonials, a little different approach. But, I mean, on 3rd and 20, you have to take a risk by throwing the ball.
Absolutely.
I mean, your back's against the wall.
I mean, you out of 10 plays, as Franklin Regional snaps the ball, big running back all the way to the corner of the end zone. It looks like on one play after the interception here, I'm waiting for the signal. They're going to mark him short of the end zone as he took about a 15-yard run.
And that's very strange because the original looked like line judge put the hands up for a touchdown, then kind of, I don't know if someone saw something, but there's a flag. There's a flag.
Okay. Well, that explains the little bit of confusion.
I was wondering.
Yeah. We don't need to get into. We don't need to start looking at the NFL when you have 5 refs on the field and 3 of them are doing one signal and 2 of them are doing the other.
That's like I look and I see.
I thought I saw it myself. I thought I saw his hands coming down. That's why I held off, and then the other ref came over and spotted him. Like the half-yard line, but doesn't really matter anyway because that flag that we saw was on Franklin Regional, so they're going to start the drive 1st and 15 at the 20 as we have another handoff. Just the same as the last, even could be even better here. We'll see if we get 2 different signals again. We got one signal on that one, and it's going to be a touchdown for Franklin Regional. Franklin Regional running the table here very early, up 20-0 with 2:34 left in the first quarter as they set up for the extra point. And Tommy, this is not looking good.
No, I mean that running back for Franklin Regional, I believe it was number 1. He carried a Colonial 5 yards into the end zone.
Yeah. That was one play. As Franklin Regional gets ready for the extra point, Colonials bring the rush, but it appeared that they were a little too eager. Going to be more than likely called an offsides. They brought an edge rusher to the right side, and I believe his foot was in the Franklin Regional backfield whenever they snapped the ball. See what's going to go on here. There obviously isn't much you can do for an extra point to move the ball up but a yard, but that's what the referees are going to do as Franklin Regional is going to try that kick again. Snaps back. Hold was a little shaky. The kick was a line drive, but it scores just the same. So position on 2 short punts, and an interception. It's going to be 21-0 Franklin Regional with 2:34 left in the first quarter. And like we were just talking about, Tommy, the Colonials are letting this one slip away very quickly.
I was going to say it.
We've played less than 10 minutes of game time, seeing as that at Albert Gallatin and Franklin Regional's level, only 12-minute quarters. We got 2:34 left. Franklin Regional able to put 3 touchdowns together on top of Albert Gallatin still having 3 possessions. So that's very efficient defense, very quick offense, very efficient special teams too. We'll say we won't leave those guys out.
And not to take away from what Franklin Regional is doing here, but the Colonials making it easy. It's not.
Yes.
It's not like they're playing together 80-yard drives. I mean, we have 20 yards, 40 yards, 30 yards. These aren't big drives. It's just the Colonials are not winning the field position game.
Not to mention 2 of Franklin Regional's as they go to kick the ball off. 2 of Franklin Regional's scoring plays were 20-yard runs.
Yeah.
Up the middle as Albert Gallatin fields the ball inside the 10 once again. little bit of a better return this time for the Colonials. They had about 10 more yards to where they previously were. Going to set up for a 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
And if you're the Colonials, you need to do something here because clock's running out. I know it's only the first quarter, but you can't have a 3 and out and then give Franklin Regional the ball on the wrong side of the 50 and let them go down and score and make it 28-0 before
like I've said a number of times on here with you, Tommy. 7's too much for me. 14 is panic mode. 21,
you're in trouble.
Especially whenever you don't have any points on the board, you're definitely in trouble. Colonial is going to put that man in motion. Another one of those little, almost like a shovel pass. I don't know how you would consider if that's a shovel or a toss. Yeah. Very, very untraditional kind of play.
And I feel like if it's set up correctly, you are going to have a lot more field to work with. But it feels like Franklin Regional's winning the battle of the line, if you want to say. And they're almost in the backfield before the backs gain the ball. And it's almost like there's nowhere else for him to go besides the outside. He can't cut inside. That's already compromised.
Absolutely.
And you just run out of field space. I mean, that's what it all boils down to.
Yes, and that definitely, I'm sure, Albert Gallatin being short-staffed on the line this week has a lot to do with that, as we're going to set up for a 2nd and 10 on the 28-yard line for the Colonials. Moody under center here. Going to put the man in motion, snaps the ball, drop back in the backfield. He's immediately met by a pass rusher, and that didn't even look like a blitz to me, Tommy. That was just immediate penetration.
I don't think my roster's correct. That was Tristan Robinson, the quarterback.
Oh, my apologies.
No problem. But freshman quarterback, I'm not sure what's going on. We can't really see on that side.
It's tough to see over on the other end of the field. As I said, we set up on the visitor sideline.
And you wonder, maybe the Colonials are going to come with a different package. Maybe try to, give Franklin Regional a different look at it and make them adjust. I mean, if there's no film on Tristan Robinson that I know of, it's awfully tough to wonder what he's going to do.
He's going to drop back again, launch a ball. Oh. Just a shade overthrown.
That wasn't a bad throw.
No, it wasn't a bad throw, just a shade overthrown. And I'll tell you, that receiver did an excellent job of keeping the corner behind him. You definitely want to keep, if you as a defender, you definitely want to keep yourself between the ball and the receiver that you're defending. He did a very good job of playing the defender off of himself, and it opened up the field. But as we said, just a little overthrown rather. As the Colonials punt the ball, another muff ball by Franklin Regional.
And the ball is fumble number 3, Nicholas Leopold, but recovered.
There, Franklin Regional is able to fall on that loose ball. Another shorter punt. With the muff, though, it does roll into the Panthers' own territory. So the Colonials do have that going for them. They can start the Panthers off with a drive outside of Colonial territory as Franklin Regional takes over with 30 seconds left in the first quarter. It's a score of 21-0.
I think it's important to note that Franklin Regional is having trouble in special teams department.
Yeah, they are having trouble in special teams department, Tommy, but they are not having trouble in the running game as they bust off a massive first down run from the 46 of the Panthers down to the 20 of the Colonials.
That's number 1, Justin Johns for Franklin Regional. They have him listed at 6'2", 235. Fullback.
He's a very large back. He's a very large back. Very, very good on his feet for 6'1", 235.
Very agile.
He's had a couple nice runs this evening. He's been busy. I believe one of the scoring runs, maybe the one that got called back, I believe he was in on as they hand it off to him again, but the Colonials are able to meet him.
Number 1, Justin Jones.
You often don't see a back in the 200s.
No, it's pretty rare. You usually don't see a back over 6 feet either, let alone 6'2". And the Panthers on this 2nd and 8 are just going to let the clock expire in the first quarter. We're still hanging at 21-0 Panthers as we head into the second here. Both teams get a second to get their game plans together, head into the second quarter here. Great night for the Panthers. Great night for the Panthers running the ball. Haven't passed too much.
No,
haven't passed too much, and I believe you said their running average is much higher than their passing average, and I can definitely see that they're. I mean, as far as the first quarter goes, now they are having a bit of a field day, but
I'll be honest.
It's been 85-15, 80-20 at the least, running rather. Not much passing. We've seen a couple, one for the touchdown, which is always successful. And then maybe one or two others, but I know one was incomplete, and they might have had just a very minimal gain on the other one, just a quick pass.
Looking at the sideline for the Panthers, it doesn't look like they are larger than average with the size of players. And I feel like we're seeing more of a technique blocking, more so than just being bigger, because the offensive line has not had a problem at all whatsoever with handling the Colonials.
No, and they definitely don't look oversized like Matt McKeesport a couple weeks back. Yeah. They definitely were a very large team.
That was noticeable.
Yes, as Franklin Regional hands it off to the right side. Another nice gain. That's 2nd and 8 on the 18. Going to be down inside the 10. Just a matter of the spot here. They are going to give Franklin Regional a 1st and 10. It's going to have to be. They're going to give it to him at the 10-yard line, so just a yard over. 1st and goal for the Panthers here. So we have another flag. And I know, Tommy, you're talking about technique, sound football. I'm not sure where the head coach of the Panthers stands. I'm not sure how long he's been there, but whenever I was a member of the Colonials, 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago now, we played Franklin Regional in conference play. I know there's been a lot of realignment and this, that, and the other. It's even tough for myself to keep up with, but they were, not too big, just very sound football. And I would not be surprised if their head coach is still in control, because it's definitely more of the same, as Franklin Regional is on the receiving end of that penalty for a 1st and 15 at the 15, not able to break that first down play as the Colonials take their first time out of the half. They're going to be sitting with 2 left before the half.
You wonder if Franklin Regional may try passing the ball here, since they haven't done it. They've been pressing the runs hard. But then again, why change it if it's working?
Absolutely. I mean, it's what I'm seeing is Albert Gallatin always puts that man in motion. And if that works for them, that's fine. But that also is a dead giveaway. You talk about subtle giveaways. That's a dead giveaway.
Yeah,
you know that they're going to
be a run down the middle.
I can stand here and watch, and if hypothetically we'll say that motion man's lines up on the left side, gets put in motion, goes to the right side, it's going to be a handoff either to the B or C gap on the right side. And, Franklin Regional, they know that, and that's not hard. Now, Franklin Regional was running some of those trick plays. Albert Gallatin got used to it. They changed it up. They get used to the next thing. They changed it up. They have a very wide open playbook, whereas Albert Gallatin appears to be keeping it pretty small. We're going to get back to football here with 11:29 left in the second. Franklin Regional's got a 1st and goal from the 15. Penalty set them back a little bit. They have a handoff. Broken tackle in the backfield, but not going to be able to evade the second.
That's a good play for the Colonials.
Absolutely. That's going to pull the Panthers back, where a 1st down, or a 1st and goal rather, from the 10 for Franklin Regional suddenly became a 2nd and 21. Line to gain is the goal line. Franklin Regional set. Motion man off to the right side. Quarterback drops back. He's not ready. Here he's not afraid to throw it to an open man over the middle. Quick little slant play from the right side. Going to make 3rd down a little bit more manageable. Looks like he split the difference there.
And that's a good job by the wide receiver to hold on to that after a big hit. It looked like.
Yes. going to make the second and 21 a third and 12. And another thing I noticed, Tommy, he had very quick acceleration. He was very explosive. He did have a man on him, but that man was 2 yards behind him as Franklin Regional snaps the ball. Drop back, throw to the end zone, and that is not going to be a touchdown, even though the ball was pretty well placed.
This quarterback has an arm.
He absolutely does. He's not afraid to air it out when they do ask for it. Even a minute 48 gone by in the second quarter here, he's definitely airing it out a little more than we saw in the first quarter.
Looks like they're going to try a field goal attempt.
Yeah, the Colonials did end up holding them to a fourth down after the penalty and the play in the backfield. The snap is back, and that kick is blocked. Excellent job by the Colonials special teams. That ball is blocked.
The Colonials didn't know what to do.
They did not know what to do. It's definitely a split decision, but you got to get that ball and run. Albert Gallatin will take over at the spot of the recovery. It's going to end up being about the 22-yard line. Looked like they were able to corral it for a second or two, but they did get met pretty quickly.
I did notice past couple extra points, the Colonials were getting closer and closer to blocking that extra point, and it was bound to happen.
That was perfect kick defense as the Colonials take over 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. 10:05 left in the second, 21-0 Panther lead. Colonials snap the ball for a running play. That play's going nowhere. Going to bring up a second down. After starting at the 22-yard line, they're going to have a 2nd 8 officially from the 24-yard line, so 2 yards. Can't complain about a gain, but Colonial still waiting to find their first down of the game.
Yep.
So you definitely want a couple more yards than that.
And I feel like, correct me if you think differently about it, I feel like with having Tristan Robinson in the game, there's more of an option of a passing game, it seems like.
Absolutely, I have noticed that. As it looks to be a QB keeper, able to shake off the very hard hit by Franklin Regional. That was nice open field defense, but could not wrap the ball carrier up. He's able to stumble across for a couple more yards.
That
gives you your first Colonial first down.
Maybe put some points on the board.
It'd be nice. 21-0, make it 21-7. You're not out of it. No. As the clock continues to roll with 9:05 left in the first. Colonial's going to get squared away. They have their first down. A little bit of a confidence builder here on homecoming. That play's going to be stopped pretty quickly after the motion man gets stopped on the left side of the backfield.
Robbie, I'm not understanding. The Colonials are insistent on doing an outside run pitch, and it's just not happening to them.
Their playbook. I mean, now things happen, things look a little different defensive sets. It's easy to get a little bit of a different influence. I've seen, obviously we're not counting kickoffs and punts and whatnot. I've seen maybe 3 or 4 plays.
It's just, if I had to describe the offense for Colonials, it'd almost be stubborn and not wanting to break the game
habits. They don't want to break this habit as they're going to snap the ball again. Here's a nice drop back. Great protection. Unfortunately, better defense in the eyes of the quarterback down the field. Looks like he did not have anywhere to go.
That was good coverage by Franklin Regional.
Absolutely.
Especially for only having one safety.
Absolutely. They do run that little bit of an untraditional defense. But they do hold Albert Gallatin to now a 3rd and 11 after the 2nd and 14. Quarterback had to scramble. There was just nowhere to go on that one. Yeah, Tommy, they run. I mean, they're still moving around a little bit, but they run almost like a 5-3-3.
Yeah,
which is very interesting.
That's
they have
the best
5
way to
men up
describe
front.
it.
Yeah. 5 men up front, 3 middle backers, and then the 3 secondary members. The Colonials air it out here on the third down play. Ball well out of bounds on the Colonial sideline. And what I've been noticing is good protection for these pass plays for the short staff offensive line. It's going to bring up a 4th and 11 for the Colonials. Clock's going to wind at 7:42 to go in the second.
It seemed like the Panthers were all over that pass. They knew they needed to drop back and go into coverage.
Absolutely. 3rd and 11, there's not many places you can go with the ball, especially whenever Franklin Regional. The Panthers seem to be very intuitive of what's coming at them with that run play whenever they see that motion, man, because Tommy, I don't know if it hasn't been a quarterback keeper. I don't know if I've seen a run play without the motion, man.
Yeah.
And even sometimes then.
The Colonials need a good punt from Nate Sutton on this one. They need to provide protection and give him time to set up and hopefully put the Panthers deep in their own territory.
Absolutely. Albert Gallatin a little bit farther down the field due to the first down. They're going to snap the ball at the 34-yard line. Sutton's going to punt it. It's going to leave his foot at about the 26. He's going to get driven into the ground. Actually, that was a blocker for the Colonials. I misinterpreted what I saw there, but once again, a very short punt from Sutton.
A lot of hang time, like you mentioned.
A lot of hang time. He was able, the Colonials offense was able to move him out a little farther to the 34-yard line, whereas I believe the farthest they punted it from before was roughly the 25. But actually the same spot, 49-yard line at the Panthers, so 1 yard, they're already into Colonial territory here. So let's see what they can do as they go to snap the ball, put a man in motion, man run to the left side. Quick little handoff, bobbled it in the backfield, but it's an excellent first down run play that could go for a little more. He's still on his feet all the way down to the 20, the 15.
That was impressive.
That was a great run, especially starting off with the bobble in the backfield. That quarterback, he's very good. He never puts both hands on the ball. It appears that he snaps it and just kind of pushes it. Whenever he gets that running, that man in motion right in front of him. And it's hard to concentrate whenever you bobble a ball like that. It's hard to concentrate and see, where do I have gaps? Where can I go with this?
He made a lot of nice cuts on that as well.
It's hard to see where can I go with this, but the answer is from the 49 of the Panthers to the 13 of the Colonials for the first down. Franklin Regional snaps the ball. Going to be another pass. However, that one is to the feet of the receiver.
Colonials caught a break on that one because he was open.
They absolutely did. He was open with some grass in front of him, and quarterback just couldn't put it on the money that time. And maybe Tommy, because of this run-heavy offense, it's typically a pass-heavy offense, but because of this run-heavy offense, maybe the quarterback's not a very good. Maybe his accuracy is a little shaky. Going to roll out again. Here's another pass play.
Ooh.
That ball's caught. The
Helmet
Colonials able to knock the helmet off of the receiver from Franklin Regional. How about this, Tommy? Quarterback snaps the ball, throws another low pass. This receiver is able to lay out, catch the ball, get his helmet knocked off, still roll into the end zone. Because I saw a touchdown. There it is on the board. It is a touchdown for Franklin Regional on a very, very tough play by the Panthers.
A lot of concentration on that.
Absolutely. That was a real tough play by that receiver. Much respect to him as he is able to make it a 27-0 Panther lead. That kick for the extra point for the Panthers is up. Make that 27-point lead a 28-point lead as the Panthers are rolling strong, very strong, with a 28-0 lead with 6:55 left in the second quarter.
I feel like it's almost obvious saying this, but that drive was the Colonials' worst nightmare. You get a good stop on defense, you get the ball back on a blocked field goal, and you drive for a little bit to pretty much stall out, and then a short punt, and the Panthers run with it.
Absolutely. That was, as you said, the Colonials' special teams able to block that kick. That's a check mark. The offense able to get their first down of the game. Check mark. Offense stalls, miss out. get the ball back to Franklin Regional, have that spectacular first down run, and then an even more impressive catch at the end zone. I'm gonna hype up that receiver a little more, able to hang on to that ball after getting his helmet knocked off. He definitely got rocked on that play, but excellent job keeping concentration, holding on to the ball.
And we've seen that earlier from the Panthers wide receivers.
Yes.
Being able to hold on after taking a hit.
Their body control is excellent. Whenever they go to catch that ball, whenever they're in the sequence of catching, as Albert Gallatin ready to receive the Panthers kickoff. Franklin Regional kicks it off. It's another good kick, Tommy. Going to be fielded about the 10-yard line for the Colonials, coming out towards us to the left side. They change sides of the field, a little bit of a different angle.
Good return.
Good return down to about the 29-yard line, 30-yard line. Again, there's a couple people in my point of view here. It's tough to see, but I think we'll see whenever they put up. They're actually going to give them a clean 30, first and down at the 30-yard line of the Colonials.
And the ball placed at the 30-yard line of the Colonials with that first and 10 with 6:49 left.
If you're the Colonials, you have to do something different.
Now, Tommy, we're down 28-0, 6:49 left until halftime. Tell me how bad it would harm the Colonials just to air a ball out, even 15, 20 yards.
I see no harm in it, Robbie.
Just toss that ball.
What do you have to lose at this point?
What do you have to lose? Exactly. I mean, we elaborated last week again, or not last week, excuse me, a couple weeks ago now. The game against McKeesport, you know, what's wrong with building on some stuff that you might not usually be good at? Franklin Regional, it's not hard to tell. This is an excellent football team, and if you can get some success on some plays you're uncomfortable with, that goes a long way in the mentality.
Well, and another point to highlight, I guess, if you do air it out on a third down, say you run 3 post routes, just air it out. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Absolutely.
A punt's only netting around 20 yards tonight.
Absolutely. The worst, if you throw a ball as the Colonials snap it 2nd and 12 at the 28-yard line with 6 to go here, as it looks like they are prepared to roll out, but
still on his feet.
Yeah, but he's going to be brought down behind the line. Looks like the ball might have popped out there. But what's the harm? Colonials are on the 28-yard line. You run 20 yards. Say Franklin Regional picks it off, worst case scenario. Well, that's where your punts. That's where your punts are. That's where your punts are landing.
You have nothing to lose by throwing the ball long.
Absolutely, and we're going to have a flag as they're getting the players cleaned up here from that last play.
Something extracurricular, it looks like.
It definitely looks like. I saw the flag thrown well after the players were back on their feet. Going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Colonials, so they're going to make that 3rd and 16 from the 12.
And that's detrimental to any momentum the Colonials are trying to build.
That's shooting yourself in the foot. That is uncalled for.
You can't take penalties when you're down by 7 points, let alone 28.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, I have no room for unsportsmanlike conduct. I don't care if you're down 28 like the Colonials. I don't care if you're up 28 like Franklin Regional. You have no room to have unsportsmanlike conduct.
And
it's a lack of discipline on that player's part.
It's a direct reflection of lack of discipline, not only in the player, but as a team in whole.
Yes. 3rd and 28 now from the 12. Colonials do air it out, and it's picked off, Tommy, but as we said, you took a chance. That's probably farther than a punt would have went at this point, because the Colonials are back to the 12-yard line. They were at least punting from the 25, 30, 35-yard line. So
I don't like that it was intercepted, but I mean, I like the thinking.
You can never, a turnover's never good, but I'm okay with that turnover if I'm on the coaching staff for the Colonials. It's 28-0. You want to try something you're not comfortable with. It didn't go well. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I've been wanting to see Colonials do something like that.
Yes, as have I.
Don't live in your fears of maybe statistically you're going to be throwing 4 interceptions tonight.
Absolutely.
Don't live in that. Live in the fact of where the game's at and where you're progressing.
Yes, as Franklin Regional snaps on the first down, and their first down rushing is just incredible. From the 47 of the Colonials, it's going to be well down to about the 15-yard line. Their first down, their running backs as a whole, I won't even say their first down rushing because there's been a number of running backs that have touched the ball on multiple plays. Just their explosiveness, their acceleration. This is a very well-coached team, to say the least.
And what they may lack on the line, not so much with the Colonials matchup, but with other schools, they make up for it with size and running backs.
Absolutely. As Franklin Regional takes the first down play backwards, something we haven't really seen too much tonight with 4:50 to go in the second quarter. We have a 28-0 Panther lead.
And I think it's a big credit to the Panthers that we haven't seen a running back go down easy.
No.
I mean, we definitely have not seen the initial hit stop a Panther.
Yeah, these guys are, you can be fast. Somebody can be quick. You can be quicker than other people, but the acceleration, the explosiveness, the lack to be brought to the ground, that's hard work on the player's part, and that's good coaching on the coach's part. Franklin Regional is going to snap the 2nd and 12 ball, toss the ball to the end zone for a wide open receiver. Now the question is, did he come up with it? The referee says he does.
That's a great catch.
That was another great catch. It comes down to the little things whenever you don't really have that size advantage or whatever other advantage you can come up with. But the running backs for Franklin Regional, outstanding. Quarterback, he's been a little shaky accuracy rise,
but he's getting the job done.
Overall, yes, getting the job done. These receivers, phenomenal job.
And the line is phenomenal too.
The line.
That's what I think. I feel like we're overlooking them because of maybe not the gigantic size advantage that Keys were had. But this is a solid team from A to Z.
You can't be successful on offense without a good line.
No.
And Franklin Regional just firing on all cylinders. That score, with 4:09 left in the second quarter, did give the Panthers a 34-0 lead as they get ready for the extra point attempt here. But yeah, Tommy, they're just the quarterbacks having a good game. The running backs, there's been a number of running backs. I have 2 to 3 running backs. I see 2 of them conversing with the quarterback here, number 40, number 6, and then number 1, as we said earlier, is having a fantastic game. And their receivers, I'm just blown away with the play of those receivers. They're bringing balls down left and right. They're getting hit pretty hard by the Colonials as that extra point's up and good for Franklin Regional, giving them a 35-0 lead with 4:09 left in the second quarter.
And it's not bad defense on the Colonials' part.
No, and that's nothing against the Colonials. It's good defense. This is just spectacular offense. This is a very, very well-coached team. Again, not that the Colonials are not well-coached, not that they aren't playing well, but Franklin Regional, I'm very respectful towards Franklin
Regional. And I
Regional.
feel like, I mean, we don't know this statistic for sure, or any fact that goes with this, but I think it's fair to say that we're seeing that Franklin Regional is a developed program.
Yes.
And that the Colonials are a young program. That's not saying that the Colonials have a bad program. It's just young. It's still developing. Where Franklin Regional, they've been doing this a while.
It's funny that you say that. I was having a conversation. I substitute teach at Laurel Highlands, and I was talking to their former football coach today. Like I said, it's funny you brought that up. Coach Beener, he's the winningest coach in Laurel Highlands history, and we were having the conversation of teams rolling with the tradition. Franklin Regional has a tradition of winning. And I said, all of Albert Gallatin sports, they seem to be like right on that crest, like they're just getting it started. Yeah. As the Franklin Regional kick is fielded inside the 15, ran back to about the 16, 17-yard line of the Colonials.
And it's hard to build momentum as a program when you have so many coaching changes. I mean, just off the top of my head, I'm thinking there have been probably 3 or 4 coaching changes within the past 7 years.
The last time I was able to play was 2013, and there's been at least 3 to 4.
That's what I mean.
Even since then in 2018. 5 years, like I was saying, like Coach Beener over at Laurel Highlands, he coached for 18 years, and they have Coach Just over there now, who's an excellent coach. He's been there every bit of 8 years now. And that's why Laurel Highlands though they don't post like Franklin Regional numbers, they're able to have solid games. And as I said,
and they've had a successful program in the past.
Yes, and I wouldn't be shocked, like I said a little bit ago, whenever I played for the Colonials, I wouldn't be shocked if most of these guys are the same coaching staff because they're able to build like that. You have to keep the staff that you have to build on anything. If it's constantly changing, well, that's no good for the people that remain. That's no good for the players either, because every coach is a little different.
For the players, it's hard if you're not coming into a system as a freshman and coming out of the same system as a senior.
Yes.
It's just, it doesn't work, and it's hard. Then it gets to, well, you may have 12 seniors on the team, but are they 12 seniors in the system?
Yes. Yes, I couldn't agree with you more on that statement. It's familiarity as the Colonials take the 2nd and 10 out to the right side. For a minimal gain, maybe 2 yards. 3rd and 8, it is going to be marked at 2 yards. Colonials only out to their 22-yard line, however, Tommy.
You wonder with 3:25 and the clock's still moving, what do you air it out long again? Are we going to see that?
I wouldn't hate it again. You know, I'm not saying to do it every single play.
Yeah.
But, you know, that play that got taken for an interception, I'm not upset with that.
No.
So, you know, 3rd and 8 here, 22-yard line. As you said, the clock's moving.
I feel like running it's throwing the white flag.
And the Colonials, not quite sure what happened in the backfield on that play.
It almost looked like a fumble from center to quarterback.
That's what I'm thinking, Tommy. That's what I was just going to say. It looked like a bad handoff, bad exchange.
And if you had to nail in the coffin for Colonials, I feel like that was it.
I believe so. I believe so. Because not only did one of the most uncommon fumbles, the quarterback or the center to quarterback exchange happen, Franklin Regional dove right on that ball, and it's first and should be 1st and 10 up there for the Panthers. They have a 1st and 22 for some reason.
And there's been no stopping this offensive running game.
Franklin Regional able to snap the ball, run out to the left side. Probably going to end up being around a 3rd and a 7. As I said, it's for some reason 2nd and 22 on the scoreboard, but
not sure about that.
2nd and 7. There we go.
That's a little more realistic.
That seems a little more accurate. Looking at the guys on the chain gang down here, it doesn't look like there's 22 yards in between them. So 2nd and 7 from the 19-yard line. Sounds a little bit better as Franklin Regional puts the man in motion in the backfield. Snap back. Direct snap to the running back that play, Tommy. I haven't noticed them doing that before.
I think they just did the previous play.
Did they do it the previous play?
I saw there was a substitution.
Yeah.
And I believe that was number 40, correct me if
That
I'm
was
wrong.
number 40.
Yeah,
You're correct.
He took it the last play as well.
And that's one of those running backs that are just having a great game for the Panthers.
I wouldn't be surprised if they call on number 1 to punch us in.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Would not be surprised either. He is in that package. There's going to be another direct snap, it looks like. I don't see anybody other than number 40. Snap right back to him. Now, number 1, lead blocker for number 40. That's going to put Franklin Regional in the end zone for the 6th time this half.
There was no tie needed for his jersey. He walked in there clean as could be.
No, I like that. I like that saying. That's a good one. But number 1, though he did not carry the ball, very involved. He was definitely a lead blocker to punch the ball in for Franklin Regional. It's going to be a 41-0 Panther lead with 2:08 left in the second quarter. We're getting ready for the extra point. Snap back. Hold bobbled again. They're having a little bit of trouble with that hold, but as long as you get it up and the kick is good, as that one was, for what should be a 42-0 lead. Now the scoreboard is 43-0. There's a 42. We're having a little bit of trouble with the scoreboard tonight, but luckily that's not on us.
Yeah.
So 42-0 lead with 2:08 left in the second quarter, and it is. I can't even say it's all Franklin Regional. They are just totally running the table. You have.
I'm lost for words on what to say. There's really nothing the Colonials could do.
No, it's nothing but it's nothing but exiting the game with a positive note at this point. Have a decent second half.
Yep.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Tommy, if you know. I'm not sure if you would know because I'm a little unsure myself. Mercy rule, I know, is a 35-point gap.
I believe so.
Does that not take effect until the second half? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so Franklin Regional, whenever we come back after the break, make sure you check out Albert Gallatin's band, the homecoming ceremony, and Franklin Regional has a fantastic band that they brought down here too. Make sure you catch that at halftime, but once the half starts, we will be in the Mercy roll. Franklin Regional kicks the ball off to the Colonial returner, who is muffed the ball but able to pick it up, but he's going to be stopped.
That could have been very, very, very.
That could have been catastrophic if this isn't catastrophic enough.
Especially since his momentum was taken in a completely opposite direction.
It was a rarity where the ball made contact with his hands and actually kept going the opposite direction towards
almost
the
like
Panther end zone.
An error in baseball.
Yes,
best way to describe it.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
An error by the shortstop.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Because it went through his legs and he was running the other way, but he was able to slow himself down.
And he also got a good block. I couldn't see who put the block on, but there was a good block to help protect him from that initial first.
Yeah, for muffing the ball like that, he had some time. Now you're not going to get too many places as the Colonials have a 1st and 10 on the 12-yard line with 2:01 to go in the second quarter. You're not going too many places, but he definitely did not get hit initially. As there's an excellent block.
And that's a solid run.
Absolutely.
Especially
his
on
jerseys,
first down.
I wasn't able to see who pulled up that excellent block on the sideline. His jerseys pulled up a little bit. And the Colonials wear black uniforms with a very, very like slate gray numbering. And the details on the numbers are very, very vague, so it's tough to see the numbers sometimes.
And I think a big part of what we're seeing now, you're still seeing guys blocking, which means the Colonials haven't given up.
There's definitely still some heart. They're still hard on the field.
Other.
Absolutely. 2nd and 2 on the 20 as the Colonials snap the ball. Going to roll out to the right side this time.
And on the quarterback keeper, number 14, Tristan Robinson.
Tristan Robinson, the quarterback for Franklin Regional, going to keep that ball.
And assisting number 1, Justin Johns.
1:06 before we hit the half here. Franklin Regional does convert the first down.
Colonial first down.
Colonial first down, excuse me. Believe I said Franklin Regional on that one. That's
I would air
fault.
it out here.
Yeah, exactly.
Under a minute left. Let's see what your wide receivers can do.
Yep. 50 seconds and counting. Going to get under center here. Looks like I probably would have threw a flag for Franklin Regional on that because I think the whole front line moved, but referees see it another way. That's why they're down there.
Looks like Colonial's just going to walk into halftime.
Yeah, they're
cut their losses and
like we said a minute or two ago. It's time to try to put a good second half together.
One thing I'd like to see, and I don't know if the Colonials have the ability to do it with their center, we haven't seen a shotgun formation.
We haven't. That's a good point.
And I feel like by utilizing that, you would definitely open up the field. I mean, naturally. But
absolutely. Albert Gallatin is going to get the play off from 2nd and 8. There's a aired out pass, a little bit over the head of the receiver. I think that's Dylan Shea down there. But that's going to take us to the halftime tonight for our game. Like I said a little bit ago, stay with us here. We have some good halftime shows coming up from each band, and not to mention the crowning of homecoming king and queen.
I think it's safe to say who I'm rooting for.
Yes, Tommy's sister. Let's all pull for Tommy's sister, Jessica, to win. We have the score at the half, AG 0, Franklin Regional 42. We'll be right back with Albert Gallatin Marching Band on AGTV Sports on Fayette TV, channel 77, and on agtvsports.com.
The Franklin Regional Panther Marching Band is directed by Kevin Pollock, Assistant Director Lawrence Silvestri, Band Front Coordinator and Art Director Carla Gallaretto, Percussion Coordinator Brian Pointer, and Band Choreographer Jen Robola. Chief Prop Engineers are Paul and Deb Shiner. Audio Engineer is Jim DeCesar. Thank you for enjoying our show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Albert Gallatin's 2018 Homecoming. We would now like to begin our halftime ceremony, which involves the crowning of our 2018 Homecoming Queen. The Albert Gallatin Band will perform their halftime show after the game, so we encourage you to stay and see the awesome performance. And now, without further ado, our first candidate tonight is Miss Sadie Foster. Sadie is the daughter of Mark and Susie Foster of Smithfield. Sadie is escorted by Charles Fowler Jr. Charles is the son of Charles and Michelle Fowler of Masontown. A round of applause for Miss Sadie Foster. Our second candidate tonight is Miss Abigail Huey. Abigail is the daughter of Rachel and Phil Fordyce of Uniontown and Chris and Kelly Huey of Smithfield. Abigail is escorted tonight by Mr. Walter Myers. Walter is the son of Sarisa Drew and of Lake Lynn. A round of applause for Miss Abigail Huey. Our third candidate tonight is Miss Kylie Filio. Kylie is the daughter of Justin and Tammy Filio of Ada. Kylie is escorted by Nathan Corpon. Nathan is the son of Jeff Corpon of Smithfield and Michelle Baird of Moundsville. A round of applause for Miss Kylie Filio. Our fourth candidate tonight is Miss Jalen Coy. Jalen is the daughter of Anthony and Angie Coy of Smithfield. Jalen is escorted by Mr. Noah Miller. Noah is the son of Ben Miller of Grindstone and Melissa Halecki of Smithfield. A round of applause for Miss Jalen Coy. Our fifth candidate tonight is Miss Jessica Victor. Jessica is the daughter of Tom and Robin Victor of New Salem. Jessica is escorted by Hunter Milligan. Hunter is the son of Terry and Nadine Milligan of Uniontown. A big round of applause for Miss Jessica Victor. Our sixth candidate tonight is Miss Skylar Dillo. Skylar is the daughter of Larry and Linda Sue Dillo of Smithfield. Skylar is escorted by Seth Caputa. Seth is the son of Dawn Fields from Smithfield. A big round of applause for Miss Skylar Dillo. Our seventh candidate tonight is Miss Elizabeth Scotchland. Elizabeth is the daughter of John and Tina Scotchlack of McClellantown. Elizabeth is escorted by Ethan Davis. Ethan is the son of Dan and Jen Davis of Ada. A round of applause for Miss Elizabeth Scotchlack. And our final candidate tonight is Miss Riley Stieber. Riley is the daughter of Gary and Tina Stieber of Fairchance. Riley is escorted by Logan Embacher. Logan is the son of Joey and Becky Embacher of Uniontown. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Miss Riley Stieber. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have one big round of applause for our 2018 Homecoming Court. I would like to introduce you to Miss Jasmine Mosier, who is the 2017 Homecoming Queen. Jasmine will crown tonight's queen. Our principal, Mr. Hutchison, will present tonight's queen with a bouquet of roses, and our assistant principal, Mr. Dunham, will present our queen with her sash. Finally, our assistant principal, Mr. Brian Reeves, will present the queen with an autographed football from the senior members of the Albert Gallatin Colonial football team. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to present Albert Gallatin's 2018 Homecoming Queen. And that lady tonight is Miss Sadie Foster. Congratulations, Miss Sadie Foster, your 2018 Albert Gallatin Colonial Homecoming Queen. Kids. Ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause for your 2018 Homecoming Court and your Homecoming Queen, Miss Sadie Foster. I'd also like to thank Miss Kaiser for all the hard work she put in. Please give Miss Kaiser a big round of applause. have the winning number on the $168 scratch-off tickets, the baseball ticket, the green ticket, 220036. Please come to the press box, the front of the press box. Again, the winning number on the scratch-off tickets, $168 worth of scratch-off tickets is sponsored for the baseball team, 220036. Green ticket. Please come to the press box.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to York Run Stadium. Tonight's game featured the Albert Gallatin Colonials and the Franklin Regional Panthers. Not even sure really what to say about the score, as you can tell from the pause.
It's tough to find any competitive voice with this game.
Yes. Alongside Tommy Victor here, I'm Rob Flockovich back with you guys. 42-0 Panther lead here going into the third quarter. We are going to start on a mercy roll, so we are going to be rolling a little quicker here as we approach the minute 30 mark left in the half. Franklin Regional still on the field warming up. Albert Gallatin taking to the sideline. It's going to be tough for the Colonials to be able to pull off any kind of monumental game changers here. I would say, Tommy, if you're looking for wins here, we brush on running the plays that you're not comfortable with. Up teen amount of times here they had the ability to do that in the first half, but in the Whippeal here where we stand, 36 points is your mercy rule in the second half. Albert Gallatin down 42-0, so they're going to be well within that mark. I would be ready to play to get outside of that mercy rule, get some points on the board here as we pushing about 30 seconds to go before we get the third quarter underway. Anything different you would have, Tommy? Or?
I mean, you touched on pretty much everything I could think of. I feel like a big victory for the Colonials today would be losing with pride.
Yes.
I feel like that is definitely – I mean, we'll be honest, winning is out of the question today.
Yes. I mean, unfortunately it is.
You hate to say that, but, I mean, that's where this is going. And at this point, you just want to keep fighting. You want to show that you're a resilient team because you fight with this. You fight with adversity of being down by 42 and still show that drive. In the tight games, that still matters.
Yes. Yes, and I will say, I know, Tommy, you brought it up. Albert Gallatin's still showing a lot of heart out there. Even in the closing minutes of the first half, it was 42-0 as it remains. Still making some key blocks. Still running the ball. Still pushing it down people's throats. Their mind is not out of this game, which is where you really want to keep it. As Albert Gallatin kicks it off for the first time of the game. The ball's fielded at 25, just like the punts. That's a very short kick.
Yeah, I was going to say that was. It's almost out of characteristic.
Yeah, that's a very short kick. We gave the special teams kind of a highlight at the beginning of the game when we were going through pregame a little bit, talking about their really good play against McKeesport in the last game that we covered. Not the same that I've seen here. Their returns have been minimal. The punts have been minimal. The kickoff. The one kickoff for Albert Gallatin, seeing is that they received the ball and did not score in the first half, very minimal, as Franklin Regional takes the 1st and 10 from the 38 to the left side of the field. Going to be brought down pretty immediately. Looks like he got it back to the line of scrimmage.
And what I would feel like I label the Colonial special teams right now is inconsistent.
Yeah.
Where last game, they were consistently getting at it. Where this game, I mean, you had the blocked field goal. You've had times where there were decent returns.
Yes.
I mean, it's just
they had some great returns.
Yeah,
last
you
week.
can't put it. This game they have not put it all together.
Yes,
special teams.
Yes, as Franklin Regional's going to run the 2nd and 8 from the 40-yard line. Once again, a minimal gain. The last snap ended up being a gain of 2. We're going to be at a 3rd and 6 from the 43-yard line here for Franklin Regional. And this could be a good little confidence builder for Albert Gallatin here. It's 3rd and 6. That's not necessarily an easy first down.
If I'm a Colonial coach, my big thing is I don't want to see penalties.
No. I totally agree with that. Penalties killed Albert Gallatin in the first half, especially in like a situation like this where that 3rd and 4 turned into a 1st and 10. As Franklin Regional's going to roll out on the 3rd down. Unfortunately, he's going to get that first down on the QB keep. More of like a little bit of an option play. Looked down the field, didn't have anybody, just kept it himself. Obviously, that was a smart move on the quarterback's part because can't beat a first down.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate though for Albert Gallatin. Good moves holding them to a 3rd and 6 on the first drive, but they are able, Franklin Regional is able to convert for the first down as they're going to take the 1st and 10 from their own 49, from the Colonial 49-yard line rather, excuse me. But first down handoff to big number 40, trucking through some of the Colonials for an easy first down run on first down.
There was some grace in that run too.
There was.
Definitely put the brakes on quick in different directions.
Really respect the talent and the coaching.
For sure.
Really respect it. It's
kudos to Franklin Regional because they do have a good program.
It's absolutely been on show tonight. It's been fun to watch. Franklin Regional is going to take the 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line, going to snap the ball. It's going to be looks like a little confusion in the backfield.
That was a very good option play if that's how it was designed to be run. But I'm not convinced that's what they were trying to do there.
I've never seen 2 players carry the ball at the same time, but that's definitely what happened. I don't know if the quarterback wasn't ready to give it up, but that running back was ready to take it. But after that little bit of confusion, Franklin Regional able to gain 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 here from the 32. We have a winding clock. As we said, mercy rule has been applied. And that's going to be major encroachment by Albert Gallatin.
I feel like every player on the front line jumped on.
I think so. And it was similar to that Franklin Regional play, but they're going to catch him this time. They're going to catch Albert Gallatin this time, I should say, since Franklin Regional appeared to be the offenders the previous time.
Franklin Regional having 2 wide receivers on the left side of the field. I'm interested to see if this may be a pass.
That's going to be a handoff. Smart handoff at that. Franklin Regional. These skill positions.
He was quick.
These skill positions are just fun to watch. They are very, very good at what they do, and it starts with the line.
They're just weaving.
Everybody.
They're weaving through people.
They're weaving. It's impressive. I am standing back here just fully impressed. Franklin Regional is going to score with 8:39 left in the 3rd quarter. It's going to be up to a 48-point lead for the Panthers. We're at 48-0 as we await the extra point. Oh, that was don't really know what to explain what happened there. I think there was a snap without a ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that was a bad snap per se. I just feel like the holder wasn't ready.
Yeah, that was one of the few mistakes Franklin Regional has had this entire game. It's going to cost them a point, but as we just said, they are up 48-0 with 8:39 left in the 3rd, so I think they had a point to spare.
And something that I feel like we haven't really, we've talked about a little bit, but how efficient the Panthers are.
Oh, yeah.
It's just 1, 2, 3 touchdown. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns.
I would be confident in saying, as you said, their offense is just incredibly efficient. They're scoring, I bet the most plays they've taken would be like 5 to 7. I think they've scored every drive. Their one mess up, I would say, was that snap hold situation on that extra point.
But like you said, they could spare the points at this point.
I would be okay. 48-0 in the 3rd with mercy rule on. You always take points, but it's all right. A little bit of a line drive kick to Albert Gallatin. Going to get a decent return. Didn't get all the way back to the returner. Is going to reach about the 2nd or 3rd line of the defense. So Albert Gallatin's going to be able to field that ball at the 35. round about the 35, I should say. 36 is going to be the official spot.
And it looks like Tristan Robinson is going to be in a quarterback for the second half, which I like that. I feel like
he's playing confident. He's definitely playing confident. We had some offsetting penalties on the kickoff there, so we're going to get things underway. Offsetting penalties, so we have no advantage either way. Just going to start out at a 1st and 10 at the spot of the return, which is the 36. Albert Gallatin's going to snap the ball. QB keeper roll out to the right side. Now here's a nice play, all the way down to the 45 of the Panthers.
That was the first big play the Colonials have had all night.
Without a doubt, that was definitely the biggest spark I've seen. You know, and when we talked about closing the game out right, like just stick to your.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Robbie. This is the first time the Colonials have been in Panther territory.
Oh, absolutely. It has to be. They had one first down previous to this, and that was the drive they threw the interception. As the Colonials take the 1st and 10 on the 45 for a stall in the backfield.
Actually, there's a different quarterback in the game.
2nd and 13 from the 48. Lost a couple yards, but nothing that can't be overcome. As Tommy searches for our new quarterback here.
Looks like number 15. Does that sound right? Yeah, 15. Clayton
Augustine, it looks like, as the Colonials take the 2nd down play, lose a couple more yards. They're suddenly back in their own territory after finally breaking the 50-yard line.
And I feel like the Colonials may be putting in younger players as Augustine is a freshman. Maybe try to give him that in-game experience that you're not going to get in practice.
Yeah, this is definitely a situation where, you know, back when I played, they had a freshman team here before that was disbanded, so you really didn't get that experience. So that's definitely something that won't hurt in the long run if you want to put these guys in. Colonials are going to take it on the 3rd and 17. As I said, they're back in their own territory on their own 48-yard line. We've got a far rollout right. Ball launched down the field, nearly intercepted. Lucky that one did not get picked off. It bounced right in and out of the hands of the Panther defender.
And definitely seems like the freshman has a strong arm.
Yeah, that was a nice toss. Little bit overthrown, but I can't really blame him because I don't believe he has seen much action. If he has seen action, it has not been much.
And it's tough to be accurate when you have three guys chasing you.
It's tough to be accurate. Yeah, this is not practice, so it's very tough. We have Colonials getting ready to punt here from a 4th and 17. That ball's away. Now there's a nice punt. Now that's what you need. And another muffed ball by Franklin Regional, but that does not matter.
Whoa.
And they are easily going to return this one to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown Franklin Regional.
These guys are Houdini with that ball.
That was an incredible return. You muffed the ball once again. I'm not sure if he was the same man muffing the ball in the previous drives, but to recover that and run that back for, I'd say, roughly 80 yards on finally having a decent punt this entire game. Now that was Nicholas Leopold, a 5'9", 160-pound wide receiver. He had some speed. He had some real breakaway speed. That extra point for Franklin Regional is going to be up and good. The score should read 55-0, but with 5:31 left in the first half, we're having some more issues. We have
6 points for the Colonials up there now.
We have 6 points for the Colonials. As I said, it should be 55-0, so don't mind the issue with the scoreboard. 5:31 left in the third quarter. Still have that rolling clock. Now, I think Nicholas Leopold, the gentleman that just returned that ball, like I said, roughly 80 yards, I believe that was the receiver that got hit hard enough and got his helmet knocked off.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Okay, now we have 0-0, so that's better. New game in the third quarter until they put 55 back up, and there it is.
This Franklin regional team, I'll be honest, Robbie, and let me know your thoughts. They're almost as impressive as McKeesport was.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, you can see these are two top programs.
I would say, McKeesport ranks in the top 40 of the state. I'm not entirely sure the exact number now that it's been a couple weeks, but Franklin Regional, McKeesport had the size and the discipline. Franklin Regional, these kids are just incredibly athletic as they kick the ball off to the Colonials once again. Excellent kick, probably best of the ball game. Fielded about the 2-yard line, bringing the ball out to the right side. Finally off of his feet right around the 20-yard line. We'll get you the official spot here in a moment. But as we were saying, Tommy, before the kickoff, it's a tale of two programs. Like I said, McKeesport they were massive. They were a very big team. Franklin Regional, these guys their linemen are athletic. They're offensive linemen. Their center is athletic. It's a different kind of firepower, but nonetheless impressive both ways.
I'll ask you, Robbie, while we have a little bit of downtime here, looks like some substitutions. What does the Colonial program have to do to get up to this level?
To the level of Franklin Regional?
Yep.
Well, during the break, I was talking to the man behind the show, Mr. Nuttall. We were talking about consistency. And whenever they change, the Colonials have been through 5 or so coaching changes.
Whoa.
As we have a spectacular catch, it looks like they are going to field that one. Yeah, they are going to give them that one about a 30-plus yard pass down the field. Yeah, get us
Bruno,
the name on that one.
Bruno Fabricki.
Excellent
Freshman.
catch. Excellent catch. But I think it comes down to the consistency factor. So since I was with the Colonials, they have had, that I can think of, 3 to 5 coaches. That's a drive killer because that happened right in front of us. And
how do you make that call, Robbie, after you call it a catch? They're not having instant replay.
That happened. We are lined up at about the 50-yard line on the Franklin Regional sideline, right about where that ball happened, and that seemed like a catch to me.
If I'm a Colonial coach, they may be giving me a penalty on that one because I'm not letting that one go.
No, I mean, we definitely don't have instant replay in the Whippeal, so maybe someday they can throw a challenge flag for that, but unfortunately it's not today as the Colonials snap the ball on what appears to be a 3rd and 10, having a little more issue with the scoreboard.
There's a little bit of laundry on the field too, it looks like.
They might have to retire these flags after this game. But what I was saying, Tommy, after we had that series of events, programs that have one coach for 15 years, look at where they're at, tell me what their record is. And programs like the Colonials who have had coaching shakeups every 2 years, I don't have to show you that record because I know it's typically 0-9, seeing as that it's the 9-game season.
And I feel like there almost needs to be an acceptance of losing, if that makes sense, on the Colonials' part. You almost have to accept a bad 3-year start, maybe, 4-year start, and just ride it out.
Yes, and that's why, I mean, all of the high schools in Fayette County, the major ones will say, as the Colonials take a 3rd and 10, potential safety here. We'll see what the ref decides. They might have to deliberate again. They're going to mark him at the goal line. That's going to be a 4th down from the goal line.
That's a tough call on the punter.
Yes. We'll see what happens here.
4th and 28 for Albert Gallatin.
I'm throwing it long and hoping for the best.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I would say if you're on the 40-yard line, 50-yard line, you're down 55-0 in the third quarter. I might not hate just going for it to see what you can pull out of it, but you can't go for it on the what is being called the 1-yard line. It'll be a 4th and 28 when we come back.
I can't see the punter being able to do anything. Honestly, that he's pinned back. He's had pressure on him all day. This spells trouble.
This does spell trouble. Nathan Sutton has been putting the ball all night for the Colonials.
Probably the busiest Colonial.
Absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, 55-0, the Colonials have had 1 first down. That's who's seeing the ball the most. But with he's having some, he's having some pop-ups. He's lacking distance tonight. You could say, though he is getting the job done, he's getting the ball to the hands of the other team. They're containing, which is good, but you could say he's having a little bit of a poor game for himself. And with his back foot at his own goal line, I am a little nervous, to say the least, with all the pressure he's been seeing whenever he's comfortable enough to take his usual gap. It usually varies as he gets the ball off. There's a flag already. That ball is straight up in the air, with a ton of flags on the field.
This may be good for the Colonials, maybe roughing the kicker.
I would say it's either roughing or Nate Sutton stepped out of bounds. He was very close to that back end zone line.
And that's tough to keep that awareness when you're trying to get the snap, trying to set your feet.
It's a lot to handle. It is.
I mean, you see professionals struggle with that.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll never forget, not quite a punter, but a quarterback. The Lions on, I think it was a Thanksgiving Day game. I think it was Harrington was the quarterback rolling outside the pocket. He's in his own end zone. He runs right out of the back. Didn't even know. I think he released the ball and everything. Didn't even know. So it's tough. I mean, even the pros have issues.
Well, the good thing for the Colonials here, it's hard to move them any farther back.
Yes, that is true.
Oh, so offsetting penalties.
Offsetting penalties. There was a whole host of issues on that one. A couple, it sounded like too many men on the field for the Colonials, and then roughing the kicker for Franklin Regional. So we're going to re-kick that ball in the same position. Very high snap for Nate Sutton. Same thing, straight up in the air. Going to be pretty much in the exact same spot.
That's a tough spot for
him.
It
is a tough spot, and it's unfortunate to see with the issues that Albert Gallatin's having tonight. They're not even really getting a break.
Taking a step back, Robbie, to the previous play where the penalties were called. As I mentioned before, I wanted to see the Colonials not make stupid penalties.
Yes,
right
and
there,
there's a couple of them right there.
That kills you, because if you get roughing the passer, that's an automatic first down.
Yes.
Or roughing the kicker. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I mean, that's an automatic first down. That's a complete game changer.
Yes. Yeah, luckily they had the offsetting penalty, but, doesn't really help.
And off to number 39, Anthony D'Amico.
Franklin Regional get the ball with fantastic field position. They're at the 21-yard line already with a 2nd and 8. Roughly a minute left in the third quarter. Still have that winding clock. The winding clock will go away when the Colonials can close the gap to 36. So they got 19 points before they could avoid the mercy rule as Franklin Regional takes another ball out to the right side.
That's another solid run.
Yes, they're all athleticism, all athletic, all finely coached. Doesn't get much better than that. We're going to roll into the 30-second mark here. No play clock in the Whippeal High School High School League. So Franklin Regional definitely taking their time here.
Are you sure there's not a 40-second play clock maybe?
I'm not sure. It's tough to keep track with the recent changes. There could be.
I'm not sure, and that's interesting that you said that. Now I'm going to have to do some research, because I've just noticed now there isn't a play clock.
Yeah, I know. I know as far as basketball goes, as the third quarter expires, we have a 55-0 Panther lead still. I know as far as basketball goes, there is no play clock. So, and I know back a couple years ago, before the many realignments of the WPIAL in the PIAA, there was no play clock, but you could be right. I did not take that into account.
The only reason I'm thinking that is I believe I've seen a couple delay of game.
Pretty
calls.
Rarely does
it's very
take
rare.
we'll say it's if it is 40
seconds.
Yeah. Pretty rarely does it take 40 seconds to snap a ball. So there definitely could be. You could be right on that one. We're going to change sides of the field here. They have the clock reset for the fourth quarter, 12 minutes. 55-0 Panther lead over Albert Gallatin. Franklin Regional, their band right in front of us here is already celebrating.
They sound good.
Oh, this band. Oh, what at Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Rose Bowl Parade out in Pasadena. They're the real deal. I've seen a couple spectators here from the Franklin Regional side. They have like Rose Bowl hoodies on and Thanksgiving Day Parade hoodies on. They're the real deal as Franklin Regional takes the ball here. Minimal gain. There's another helmet flying. Looks pretty gold. So I'd say it's the Panthers once again. Panthers started with a 1st and 10 from the 10.
Panthers utilizing shotgun formations. They have all night pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Colonial's all over it though.
Yes, that was a great read on the first down play. Gonna head right into second down here. Franklin Regional having such success from the shotgun, whereas Albert Gallatin's not running anything from the shotgun.
And I would have to assume that it's you don't have the personnel to run it, Robbie. I mean, is there any other reason? I mean, I feel like when you're down by 55 points, you should be willing to try a different formation.
Yeah, I would really have to say that as Franklin Regional snaps the ball, rolls out left, takes a monster hit in the backfield.
Number 6 on the Colonials laid down a very monstrous hit. Number 6, Dylan Shea.
Excellent hit in the backfield. Have that rolling clock still. We're just about to hit 10 minutes left in the fourth. This game has been decided long ago.
Yes.
Gonna have a timeout for Franklin Regional on the 3rd and 11 with score of 55-0. Gonna tie some loose ends together. Probably have a lot of underclassmen, guys that haven't really seen the field a whole lot. Gonna make sure they're ready to go here.
And I'm gonna make a prediction that the Panthers score here. They're drawing something up.
Tommy, I could definitely agree with that. We will see what happens. Franklin Regional definitely drawing something up, but the Colonials doing the same. However, they not been able to draw up anything to stop it yet.
I feel like they've been drawing with an eraser sometimes.
Yes.
I feel like that's the best way I can describe how this game has gone. It's almost like they're drawing up to fix mistakes, where Franklin Regional is drawing up to have a big play.
Yes. Yeah, I can agree with that. We'll see. We'll see if your prediction holds up here, as Franklin Regional is going to take the 3rd and 11 on the 11. So call it a 3rd and goal. Have that shotgun right back. Lob to the end zone, and that is pretty far off as we have a different quarterback in for Franklin Regional. We have number 13, Trevor Burnchick.
I think he's the one that got rocked on that Dylan Shea hit.
Yes, I believe it was.
It seemed like the wide receiver hesitated on that route. It was almost like he didn't know. He didn't want to commit to breaking towards goalpost. It was almost like he didn't know if he was supposed to fade back.
Yeah, it seemed like he was having a little bit of trouble if it was a post route, if it was a fade, if it was whatever the case may be. He did look kind of stuck in the middle as Franklin Regional attempts a field goal once again, this time not blocked.
That's a good high school field goal, really.
Yes, absolutely.
That was, what, a 30-yarder roughly?
About a 28 to be exact. So, yeah, a 30-yard field goal. That's a pretty good distance, like you said, from the high school. So with 9:14 left in the fourth, it's going to make it a 58-0 Franklin Regional Panther lead.
I'd like to see Colonials try something to spice up this game. Something, maybe on special teams, run a reverse.
Run a reverse?
Let your players try to make a big play.
Try an onside. I mean, that's pretty bold, but again, you know, Franklin Regional has started all but one drive that I can think of. One or two drives, depending on where they started coming out of the half, I don't recall. They've all started on the Colonial side of the field.
Yeah.
So, ball only got to go 10 yards, you're talking the 50.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see Colonials maybe run a reverse or something.
Yeah. Good kickoff by Franklin Regional, back to about the 3 or 4 yard line. Colonial's going to return it.
He had a nice hole.
He had a great hole, but it was filled quickly.
Number 2's liking it.
That was a very respectable hit by Colton Johns. I would be liking it too, I can tell you that.
He filled that donut with some filling real quick on that one.
You got some fantastic sayings tonight. I want to highlight that.
Thank you. I try. Trying to keep everyone entertained.
Well, you're keeping me entertained. I don't know how
That's all
many
that
other
matters.
people that are right around us can hear, but Colonial snapped the ball. Going to be a QB keeper.
Oh, fumble.
Going nowhere, fumble. That's easily Franklin Regional's football from my vantage point. But
that was a good strip.
Let's have some more deliberations here.
That's a heads-up play by the defensive player. I couldn't catch a number.
Yeah, I did not catch that. It was a very quick play.
But that's heads up to know you have the guy. He's going down. Go for the ball.
Yeah, you always want to attack the ball. You want to put your fist at the ball. You want to put your elbow at the ball. Not that you want to kind of headbutt somebody in the chest, but if your head's down there, just
helmet
wiggle
on
your
ball
head around.
is always good.
Do something to get that ball out of there, and that's exactly what they did. As Franklin Regional takes over for the 1st and 10 on the Colonial 28-yard line. Another just fantastic starting point. Franklin Regional hands it off on the first down play for a short run.
And there's another penalty. This is getting out of hand.
See if we can figure out what this one's for. Can at least tell you who it was on. It was on Franklin Regional that time, Tommy. They're taking the Panthers back a little bit. 10-yard penalty, it looks like.
I couldn't hear what the call was. Did you happen to?
No, it's tough. It's tough to tell with these headsets that we wear, but Franklin Regional is looking at a 1st and 19 from the 37. Say it was probably somewhere in the area of a face mask or something like that, because that was pretty hefty yardage. Franklin Regional going to fake the handoff in the backfield for the QB keeper. Going to be able to gain just a couple yards.
That was a good slide.
That was a great slide. That was a baseball slide.
I think he's seen too many helmets fly off today.
I would be trying to protect myself a little bit. Definitely did not have a chance for any more plays or any more yards. Excuse me. He picked up a couple there. It's going to make it 2nd and 15 from the 33, so he picked up 4 yards, but he had a whole host of tacklers if he would have stayed on his feet, so
that was a good
definitely a
read by
smart play.
Dylan Shea, I believe it was number 6. He was coming in hot, and he recognized that it was a fake to the right side.
Yes.
He stayed home.
Yes.
And was able to come and put pressure on the quarterback.
You have to know when to move and you have to know when to stay, and he definitely played it right. All the way down to 7:27 here in the 4th quarter. Not too far away from wrapping this one up. We have a 58-0 Panther lead. Going to get ready here to run a 2nd and 15 for the Panthers from the Colonial 33. Looking to put this game into the 60s. Now, I'm not sure who Franklin Regional is up against next week, Tommy, but as they roll out, nice little pass play. You got to catch that one.
Dropped by number 32.
Got to catch that one. That was in and out of his hands. But as I was saying, as we go to a 3rd and 15, not sure who Franklin Regional is playing next week, but I don't know how many times they're going to start drives on their own side of the field.
I was going to say, whoever has them next week is in for a tough task, without a doubt.
Yes, they are a powerhouse. Albert Gallatin, while we're on the subject, will have Plum next week at home.
Back-to-back home games, I think, it's good, but it can also be a bad thing. You almost lose initial momentum of having, a
you
home
lose
game
all
after
kind
being
of
on
home
the road.
field advantage, and we're roughly midway through the season. Franklin Regional lines up for the 3rd and 15 from the 33-yard line. Snaps back in the shotgun, looking to air it out, but the Colonial rush, able to take him down deep in the backfield.
Number 5 and number 6 were there. Dylan Shea and number 5 is
Joseph Dolabach. You beat me to it.
That was good defense, and the Colonials are forcing a punt.
That was excellent. That's something to look at. You had an excellent pass rush in the 4th quarter. You're down 58-0. These guys back down, take that sack.
Let's see how the Colonials return it here. This will be their first punt return of the game, I believe, correct?
I believe so. You're talking 4th and 26 for the Panthers, so they really had no chance.
It's hard to justify going for it.
That's a high pop-up kick, but definitely don't want to have it bounce into the end zone. Going to pin the Colonials right about the 20-yard line. Decent punt, nothing spectacular. Punting's both sides, now that we got to look at Franklin Regional's punter, a little tough.
And I feel like the weather may have a factor in that.
Yeah, it's
being
good.
That this is the first chilly evening a lot of these guys have been playing in, at least for this year.
Yes.
I mean, that definitely has an effect on kicking the ball. Ball feels heavier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the colder it gets, even if it's cold going to warmer, it has effects.
One thing we haven't seen, knock on wood, is injuries from cramps. That was a big thing.
Very true.
I think it was the first home game of the year I was here, and a lot of cramps from just heat. 90-degree heat.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you what, if it's 90 degrees outside, it's about 110 on that field. Colonials have a AstroTurf field, so brand new one, yes. It looks fantastic. But those little pellets they got down there, they pull the heat in. Albert Gallatin's first play goes nowhere. 2nd and 10 for the Colonials, still on the 20-yard line. 4:26 left in the 4th quarter.
2nd down and 10 for the Colonials.
Colonials really need to score here if they have any chance of having a good takeaway from this game.
Without a doubt. Airing the ball way out. He does have a man. And he is not able to connect with him. That was the most promising pass play I've probably seen all night. That was a great throw. Yeah, that was a great throw. But across the board, as you just said, for both teams, that was an excellent pass, just not able to put it on the money.
And I'm impressed by Clay Augustine. I mean,
that's
a legit throw for
that's who we're still seeing at quarterback.
For a guy in 9th grade, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You're the man with the name, so I have to clarify sometime. But that was a fantastic throw. Fantastic throw. If it would have been a half a yard shorter, he could have had that receiver could have had a half a yard step on it. It would have been an excellent completion.
And it was a good spiral with a good apex.
Yes.
On it. It wasn't low. It had a good arc on it.
Yes, it was every bit as high. It was higher than the scoreboard, or the press box rather, that I'm looking at across the field. See what the Colonials do here. 3rd and 10 from the 21.
Throw it again.
Throw it again. Yeah, I agree with that.
What is going on here?
We have some major confusion for Albert Gallatin, and that is not what you want to see when you're down this bad. That just does not look good on your part.
But I will say the good thing with that, the Colonials were doing something different than they're normally not used to. So,
they were.
I mean, now's the time to do it, I guess.
Yes. Albert Gallatin forced to take a timeout on that little bit of confusion, straighten some things out.
I was excited to see what they were about to do there when I saw.
I saw 2 men in the backfield moving. And I was like, well, this is going to be interesting. And then they basically just looked at each other and threw their arms up in the air. And then I was like, well, this just plays to the 58-point deficit.
Yeah, that may be the Webster Dictionary definition of tonight.
Albert Gallatin back to take over on the 3rd down. Franklin Regional meeting them at the ball. 2:51 left in the 4th quarter here. The time will start rolling here on the referee's whistle.
I'd let the ball fly again. You have a quarterback that he's throwing it well.
Yeah, I agree with you. Looks like they will do that.
Oh.
And just overthrown again. And that is really unfortunate.
And I feel like that throw showed that he was a freshman.
Yes.
Because he has the arm strength. He has the accuracy.
He has an excellent arm on him.
It's just a little overthrown.
Just from seeing him. Yeah.
Not used to the game adrenaline.
It's the inexperience. But this is how he gets it.
Yep. If I'm the Colonials, I'm feeling pretty good about this guy.
I'm feeling pretty good about this quarterback, yeah.
I'm impressed.
I'm feeling pretty good about this quarterback. Let's see, 4th and 10. Albert Gallatin punted. That punt is blocked. And recovered by the Panthers at the 25-yard line in the middle of all that craziness.
You don't see that a lot.
In the middle of all that craziness, he decides to return the ball from the 25-yard line. He gains about 10.
That was close to breaking away, too.
Yeah, he did not have many people in front of him whenever it got to.
Hey, when you have a 58-point cushion, I feel like you tend to do stuff that you wouldn't normally do.
The punt was blocked, to add to the rough night from Nathan Sutton. So obviously it's not going to be a far kick. It was only about a 15-yard punt. The even more bizarre thing, off of a blocked punt, they decided to return it after it was still a pop-up in the air.
I feel like the coach may not be too happy with that.
No.
But
Franklin Regional getting ready for a 1st and 10. Handing off the ball with a minute 30 to go. There's a flag.
Bad face mask.
Interesting, Franklin Regional still running plays.
Yeah.
We saw from McKeesport they had a pretty hefty lead, and they did thing that was very respectable. They actually kneeled the ball with about 2 minutes left.
Yeah. I feel like we may be getting there, maybe around the 1 minute mark.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. 58-0.
Because like we've touched on it before, part of you wants to just, do the honorable thing and just take a knee.
Yeah.
But then you also want to use this time as a little bit of a scrimmage time to see what.
It's heart versus brain.
Yeah.
And Tommy, I think you called that perfectly. Face mask on the Colonial is going to give the Panthers an automatic 1st down. So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 10 as they hand the ball off. Minimal gain, but enough to get 3 or 4 yards out of it as we approach 1 minute left to play.
Yeah, but I feel like this may be victory formation.
Well, let's see what happens here as we roll with 45 seconds and a 58-point Panther lead.
Never mind, they proved
Doesn't
me
appear
wrong.
to be. Doesn't appear to be that shocking. I am really surprised by that. Franklin Regional's going to hand it off for another score, and I don't know, Tommy. I agree with what you're saying with the extra experience for the younger guys, but I might have lost just a shade of respect on that one.
The only thing I can think of is the reaction by the Franklin Regional sideline. They may have been trying to get somebody to score.
Yeah,
maybe a first touchdown.
Maybe.
Because there was definitely more energy in that reaction for a 64-0 lead.
I agree.
Which,
I agree with that.
It is what it is.
It could be a
when
number
you
of
play
things.
this well, I feel like you deserve. I mean, obviously you don't want to run the clock up, but if there's somebody you feel deserves a touchdown, deserves to get carries.
It could be a number of things.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, it could be a number of things. I would.
If they get the ball back and try, then we're.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll say we hope that it was special circumstances to run a touchdown with a 58-point lead, because if you're just doing it to run the clock or run the score up, I don't respect that.
No,
that's not.
And it's
really,
not like this is college football.
No, that's kind of uncalled for. That's kind of uncalled for.
You're not trying to break into any polls here.
No. But after the score, it does make the Panther lead 6-5 to the Colonials 0 with 28 seconds left in the fourth.
And I think, no, never mind. The Colonials did score in their home game against Laurel Highlands.
Yeah, they have very minimal points on the entire season. Very minimal, maybe a touchdown or two.
Yeah. You can't win without points.
No, this is fifth game of the season, if I'm thinking right, for the Colonials. I believe it's the sixth for Franklin Regional, and they have scored maybe 1 to 2 touchdowns the entire season. As the Colonials field the ball at about the 12-yard line. It's taken out to the left side. He's met pretty quickly, still on his feet. Will be brought back down. It's probably going to be something along the lines as we have flags.
And number 19, he's flirting with a taunting penalty, it looked like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say he's probably going to be the one to get called as we have a Colonial shaken up on the field. I believe it's the kick returner. 19 and the coach for Franklin Regional exchanging some words on the sideline here. So I definitely think it's okay to be fired up, but might have been a little over the top. I would say this flag is probably along the lines of a horse collar face mask.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. We'll see if we can catch the number of the injured player here. He is on his back with some attendees around him, so it's going to be tough to see.
I think it was number 15. Let me see.
Number 15, I actually have it in front of me here. Number 15 for the Colonials would be Clayton Augustine. So we will see what happens here. He's now leaned up. It looks to be something going on with his legs. Again, it's tough to see. We don't have any kind of spotters or anything. So it's tough to see the number still and what area is being favored.
And I feel like it's sometimes a byproduct of a new field. That ground's soft. And it's very easy to twist your ankle or to break the wrong way. I mean, you hate to see it, but it looks like he's getting up on his own strength. That's huge.
Yes.
Dominic. The PA announcer just said something completely different from.
Yeah, I don't have another 15 other than Clayton Augustine, so.
Unless Dominic Llewellyn, or Llewellyn, if I'm pronouncing it correct.
Llewellyn, it looks like.
I believe he was a starting quarterback last year, so maybe he had a number switch, or maybe this.
Yeah,
roster,
definitely.
Because that would make sense, because if I remember correctly, he did have an arm last year.
Yes, yeah, that definitely could be the case.
That would make a lot more sense.
Yes. But he is able to walk off the field under his own power, so we do wish him the best. Now the clock here will run out. Looks like the Colonials do get the snap off for one more play. Time has now expired. And the ball carry is brought down, and that is the game. Well, Tommy, definitely not what they were hoping for. Definitely not what they were hoping for. Look, that was
Tough.
that was an excellently executed game on one side and a
Very poorly executed
game on the other. They didn't have anything going for them. You know, we brushed on the special teams playing well in the first home game that we covered. Special teams definitely not impressive tonight.
No. And that was their strong point. I thought they were going to build from that into other categories, and it totally backfired.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see because they had some promising looks in the game against McKeesport and flat, very flat all around.
Today was a rough game, and the only thing we could hope, and if you're a Colonial fan, listen, is hope that turns around next week because this is getting old to watch.
Yes, that's definitely good points. Hopefully they turn it around next week. Do want to extend some respect to Franklin Regional, like we said, as they celebrate here. Excellent game by them. Incredible athletes, great coaching staff. Just a great all-around win. But other than that, Tommy, final score from York Run Stadium, Franklin Regional 65, Albert Gallatin 0. We're going to be broadcasting our next home game, which is going to be AG against Plum, as we said. That's going to be next Friday night. Thank you for watching the AGTV Sports. Thank you for watching AGTV Sports on Channel 77, Fayette TV. I'm Rob Flockovich, and this is Tommy Victor.